Koh Mak has to be one of the most beautiful and laid-back islands in all of Thailand. And yet, most travellers completely miss it. It's hidden right between the popular Koh Chang and the stunning Koh Kood. Koh Mak often gets overlooked, but trust me, this island deserves its moment. So for the next few days, I'm going to take you across the island on two completely different budgets. First, I'll be checking into a beautiful resort with a great pool, a private beach, and some delicious food. But if you are traveling on a tighter budget, don't worry. I found a much more affordable place that's just as charming and proof that you don't need to splurge to enjoy paradise here in Thailand. And in between, I'll show you the highlights of this incredible island, all of the hidden corners and the little things that make this island feel like a quiet slice of pure paradise. This is the beautiful island of Koh Mak on two budgets. So sit down, relax, subscribe if you're new, and let's enjoy paradise together here on Koh Mak. Okay, well, welcome to my accommodation, the expensive one. I've just arrived. It is actually 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So I've got 2 nights here, but the first will just be about settling in, having dinner at the hotel, and then, yeah, it's going to be dark soon. So this hotel is called Pla, and it is on the southern end of the island. And when I arrived here on the speed ferry, I got a little taxi for 100 baht. All of the rooms are these little mini concrete villas with lots of natural light and great views of the gardens and this ocean view. There is a beach and there are some beautiful trees and there's a little swing and the waves are very gently lapping up against little mangroves, little palm trees, and it really is very serene, very quiet. And that is the theme for Koh Mak. Koh Mak is very sleepy, laid back, and lesser known, lesser travelled island than many others. And so for that reason, it is a very calm, mellow place. In the room is very nice. It's got aircon, it's got nice lighting, nice pillows, nice double bed, sofa. There's a little decking area outside with fantastic views. I'm right next to the swimming pool. I want to show you what Koh Mak is like. Also show you on 2 different budget options, and then in the second half of the video we're going to stay in a much more budget friendly accommodation. But I just thought it'd be fun to review Koh Mak, revisit Koh Mak. Last time I was here it was in the height of rainy season. You really have to dig deep on Koh Mak because it is just so laid back. If you're coming to Thailand and you want buckets of booze and parties till the sun comes up, Koh Mak is not the island for that, okay? Koh Mak is where you come as a couple, as a solo traveler, maybe looking to find inspiration for a new book. Maybe you want to read a book. Maybe you just want to get away from everyone and get away from all the other tourists on all of the other islands. Koh Mak is a great option for that. Right, let's quickly unpack and let's use the resort's fantastic facilities. The first thing that I wanted to do was enjoy a quick dip. The view from the swimming pool was just incredible, and because it's set on such a quiet bay, you can really just take in the scenery in all its glory. So, how much was the resort, I hear you ask? Well, have a guess. The answer was I paid 4,200 Thai baht per night. That's around 130 US dollars or 98 pounds. Not bad for such a beautiful setting, and that included breakfast as well. Oh, what a lovely sunset we're having. Wow. This place is so quiet. After sunset, it was time for an early dinner at the resort. They had so many options, maybe too many, and I couldn't decide what to have. Wow, I think I ordered too much food. The next day, after an amazing sleep, it was time to enjoy the beach and just to try out the hotel's breakfast. is an island where it's all about taking it slow, and that's what I did for the entire morning. When you book a place like this with your hard-earned money, all you want to do really is enjoy it. However, after a few hours later, my adventurous side won over, and so I had to get on the bike and go explore the island. I rented this scooter for a few hundred baht from the resort. Okay, we are in business. I've rented a little Honda Click, and I have a helmet that fits my head, so that's a bonus. Another thing to note, if you've ever thought about renting a scooter, exploring a Thai island, but you've been put off because you don't have much experience or any experience, and you're looking for the perfect place to sort of learn or teach yourself, somewhere where you can go slow, where there's no traffic, or hardly any anyway, Koh Mak's a really good option. I mean, just look ahead here, these beautiful trees, this gorgeous concrete paved road. It's like this the entire way around the island. The only traffic you have to worry about is the odd taxi ferrying people from the resorts to the piers. So the perfect place to sort of get your independence and learn a skill. And there's no better place to learn to ride a scooter in Thailand than Koh Mak. 300 baht to rent this from the hotel per day. And I think what we should do in this section of the video as we explore Koh Mak again is I'll just show you, since we're on a bit of a higher budget today, I'll show you some of the things that charge money. So if it's expensive or if there's a charge to do it, let's do it today. Some of which will be very cheap, some a little bit more expensive. And then tomorrow when we stay in the budget-friendly place, I'll show you all of the free activities, all of the fun things you can do for free. And not far away was this beautiful pier. You do have to pay to walk on it, but as you can see, it's gorgeous. Okay, so we're here. I just paid 50 baht. This place is called the Scenic Resort, and it's on a mangrove forest beach here on this side, and then you can see there's the sand. The beach has seen better days. There's quite a lot of trash on there. I wouldn't recommend staying at this resort, but I would recommend coming to this pier. It's very, very long, and it's beautiful. And what is cool is you can rent fishing rods for 200 baht. They've got lures, so you can catch squid, and then you can just pitch up here. There is shade. They have little huts down at the end of the pier and halfway. They do sell drinks. They do have food here, so you could pitch up and have a day with your son, a day with your mates, a day with your partner, or just if you wanted to have a day on your own, come here and just fish and drink some beers. There are actually loads of fish right there. And Koh Mak is this beautiful, flat island. It's deceptively big, but it's like an awkward shape, kind of like a starfish shape. So you've kind of got 4 sides to the island, and like I said before, it's a joy to just drive around on a little scooter. Really laid back, really quiet. And I'm just gonna walk down here and look at the color of the ocean. It is gorgeous. These guys are obviously going out to fish as well, which is cool. They've got their own picnic as well. I can see they've got some snacks. This is a lot longer than I thought it was. This is maybe 300 meters long. It is so long. There's beautiful starlings that have got nests under it as well, so you see them coming in. This is also the perfect time to tell you about that island over there. That is another activity that you can pay to do. I won't do it in this video, but here's the deal. So there is a boat, you can see it going out there now. I went to do this activity during the rainy season, and it was amazing. So you take a little boat, it's a gorgeous little 10-minute boat ride across to that island. Loads of deer on that island. The reason being is the owners of the island are keen hunters, and they wanted to shoot them and practice hunting. But then they just kind of bred, and there's so many on that island, and they all live wild. And you can kind of do a mini safari. There are eagles and other animals that you see, lizards and snakes. And there are a few separate different viewpoints, and you go on a little safari. The whole thing will cost you around 500 baht per person to do the safari, to get the boat there and back. And you have to leave from a resort around the corner. So that is another paid activity to go look at the deer and go explore the viewpoints and a little mini safari. A very fun activity actually, especially with kids. My family came here actually, my mum and Tony, after their trip with me. They did Koh Chang, Koh Kood and Koh Mak. And even though they're retired and they like to chill, they told me that Koh Mak was a bit too quiet, so they left after 2 days. But they're quite active, retired people. But here's the thing, Koh Mak might be perfect for you, honestly. If you just want to come and read, write, paint, meditate, switch off, or just get away from the riffraff, then Koh Mak's the place to be. There's a famous pier that I'll take you to later where there's a bar at the end and it's fantastic for sunset. But if you ask me, if you just get some cold beers from that place, pay the 50 baht, it's a lot cheaper to come to this pier. And you wouldn't have the crowds of the other one. When I say crowds, I mean the 10 other people who've got the same idea. But has a cool sign here, look, seems to be made of rubber tubing. It's all written in Thai. Quite a nice little installation, really. Anyway, 50 baht to come to this pier, to fish your heart out, to relax, to take a picture, or to go for a walk and get sweaty, like me. By the way, this pier and the resort and everywhere else in today's video will be linked in the description as usual. Okay, that was fun, but it was very, very hot and there's not much shade unless you're fishing, so bear that in mind. And I only lasted about 15 minutes. There is an optional boat trip to another island called Koh Kham, very close to Koh Mak. It only takes 5 minutes on the boat to get there, but it is arguably the most beautiful island, the most beautiful beach on planet Earth. Honest to God, I'm hyping this up, but you'll see just how beautiful it is. Also, when you're driving around Koh Mak, it's so beautiful. So before we go explore some more of Koh Mak, I want to say a big thank you to the sponsor of my video today, Klook. Now, it doesn't matter where you're traveling to, whether it's a tiny island like the beautiful Koh Mak, the big city of Bangkok, or any other country in the world, being able to plan ahead and book your accommodations and your transports and many other things on a free mobile app is such a game changer, and Klook enable you to get sorted and to plan your travels so the entire trip runs as smooth as possible. It's really simple, just download the Klook app for free on your phone and start searching for the destinations that you're going to. For example, this very resort is available to book on Klook, as well as onward ferries to Koh Chang, Bangkok, and even over to Koh Kood where we were recently. So you can organize your transport and your accommodation here on the island from the comfort of the Klook app on your phone. And in other parts of Thailand and beyond, you can book tours, activities, transport passes, SIM cards. You can plan pretty much everything with Klook. And to save a little bit extra, if you use my code Paddy Doyle at checkout on certain listings, you'll get an added discount. So download Klook for free today or visit klook.com, linked in the description and the pinned comment. Right, should we go out and explore this paradise? Okay, it's 350 baht for the ticket on the boat. And there's a boat just about to leave, so perfect timing. Okay. Good timing or what? The boat ride is very relaxing and it takes about 5 minutes. But there is a giant storm behind me, look. Let's see how long this lasts. Okay, we're here. Textbook paradise. Okay, so welcome to Koh Kham. And since the sun has just gone behind a big scary black cloud, I think it's probably a good time to start by showing you this private 5-star hotel that never got finished is completely abandoned. And it's the most interesting thing about this island. I mean, look, they've built all of it, almost 90% finished. They've got these walls, they've built a pier that they were going to use. There is, you know, a whole building here of toilets, and that would have been a restaurant. All the grounds are immaculate. You can really sense that this would have been an ultra high level, 5-star, $1,000 a night minimum hotel on a private island. And the sand is immaculate, it's white, the trees are perfectly located on the sand. It's almost too good to be true. And sadly it was. So this company, these people put all this money into it. I mean, look, even the irrigation system, all the runoff from the rain, they thought of everything. They built multiple villa rooms, okay, with steel roofs and concrete. Even now, years later, as it's been claimed back by the jungle, you could sense it was going to be stunning. And what's interesting actually, all the grass is still kept, and you can hear in the background, someone's keeping the grounds. And that's good because it still makes it feel, believe it or not, it makes it feel like you're in a 5-star hotel, just with no staff, no rooms, and nowhere to sleep. When you arrive here, by the way, you do get a free drink. You can get a can of Coke, a water or something. Should we go have a look at one of the rooms? Oh no, this one looks a bit, yeah, I don't want to go up there. That one looks a bit too overgrown. See if I can find one where I can go in without my shoes on. There's probably going to be broken glass and things. This one looks okay. Let's sneak in here. There's probably spider webs. All I'm hoping for is no snake and no broken glass. Oh, spider web, spider web, spider web, spider web. So welcome to what would have been a pool villa. That would have been the pool. That would have been your view. And it would have cost a fortune to stay here. This would have been the living room, maybe a little WC. And in here would be, yes, the bathroom. It's very scary and spooky in here. You can see that they even got to the stage of wiring in the electricity. They've done most of the plumbing. There's light fixtures on the roof and light fixtures here on the wall. This place was this close to being finished. And the powers that be came over here and shut it all down. They didn't have the right permissions. They didn't have all the correct paperwork. And the powers that be came in, refused the permits, told them they had violated agreements and rules and laws. And that was it. This resort never got finished. They never put furnitures in. They never put the AC in. And the whole thing was just completely abandoned. And what you can see here are all of the rooms. Isn't that just something that would only happen in Thailand? Getting this close and getting snatched away at the last moment because of paperwork and the lack of permits and things like that. Can't imagine how frustrating it must have been for the builders, for the owners, for the designers, for the architects who'd gone to all the trouble to design and build this. I mean, this would have been the best hotel in Thailand. I mean, it's on a private beach, on a private island, in like one of the most untouched places. And this particular beach, this particular island is immaculate. So it would have just been unbelievable. Look, there's another big one here. This one looks a bit easier to get in. This one would probably be a family-sized villa. Okay, there's broken glass. Be careful, Paddy. Yes. Here you can see what would have been a bigger swimming pool and a beautiful view to the other side of Koh Mak. Can you imagine how much this room would have cost when it was fully furnished? A family-sized villa, 3-bedroom, big pool, private beach, private island basically. And yet it was not to be. Isn't that interesting? Now when it comes to white, powdery, soft sand, I've been to dozens of islands, dozens of beaches in Thailand. This is the softest, this is the whitest, this is the powdery, sand that you just dream of. There is not a single beach that I know of where the sand is this white. Also, these kayaks, you can't rent them here. These were rented from Koh Mak. So instead of actually getting the boat for 350 baht, you can kayak here. It is a fair distance, but with 2 people, young and strong, you could make it. And just have a look at this water. Because the sand is so white, the sea is just so clear. Like, honestly, guys, even as this big black cloud is still above my head, blocking the sun, it's still so beautiful. Once the sun comes out, I'll get the drone up so it's even more apparent how blue the water is, how white the sands are. So all that footage you've seen, and you will see from the drone, I've just had to wait for that cloud to pass. And you can spend the whole day here. The last boat that goes back leaves in the late afternoon. So if you just wanted paradise, quiet, and absolute pristine sand and beautiful water, you know, just come here for the day. It is certainly worth the 350 Thai baht entrance. And they really are taking care of it, which is great. So actually, this camera that I'm holding right now, my little DJI Nano, has a tendency to overheat in the direct sun. So since it's still quite shaded, I think this is a good time just to show you this side. This is where they come and check your ticket and they give you a little drink. You can buy a little trinket. No food here, guys. Just bear that in mind. Let me double check that. Okay, they have crisps and instant noodles, which is probably all you need if you're starving. So over here is the beach area. Wooden desk chairs, a little bit of shade, not too much. And this is what I want to show you because I need your guys' help. So recently I was in Bun Kam in Isan looking at this beautiful stone monument called 3 Whale Rock, and the whole thing was like this bright red color. And I didn't know much about the rock, and someone in the comments said it was sandstone, and they showed me how, well, they told us how it has been eroded in a special kind of way, which gives it that serpent snake-like texture. And it was really interesting. So if that man is watching, or if there's any other geologists in the chat, why are these rocks so black? I mean, almost volcanic ash black. I haven't seen rocks this black in any other part of Thailand. It almost feels as though they were put here, but how would they have transported them here? But, I mean, let's go take a closer look. You can see. Okay. It's not plastic. It's radiating heat because it's absorbing all the sun, and they are just so black. And obviously I'll have some drone footage for you to show you just like how black they are. And I don't see this kind of rock anywhere else, not just in Koh Mak, but anywhere else in Thailand. Why is it only here? What kind of rock is it? If you could let me know, I would be forever grateful. After about half a day of just chilling in paradise, it was time to head back to Koh Mak and find some proper food. The Chill Cafe does delicious Thai food, and they do a mean cheeseburger as well. But I just went for Pad Kapow because you just can't go wrong, can you? As I was eating, the darker clouds came back, but this time they brought the rain with them. I thought this was bloody dry season, but hey. So I've come home to the beautiful resort just to have a couple of hours out of the sun. And there's a big tropical storm rolling in. Just putting a spanner in the works because I wanted to take you to this beautiful pier. But you know what? I'm not going to let a little bit of rain stop me and us having some fun. But it is picking up right now, so let's just wait it out. We'll give it half an hour. And if it's still raining, we'll go out regardless. We'll get wet, who cares? I think we'll have to wait for the lightning to stop at least. Okay, this is certainly a risky strategy. Leaving the comfort and safety of the resort to hunt down a 200 baht entrance to a pier that has very, very small space underneath a roof. If it continues to rain, if it gets worse, then this is 200 baht not well spent, because we'll be cold, we'll get wet, and we certainly won't be trekked to a beautiful sunset. But here's a little tip. The weather in Thailand changes very quickly. An hour ago, well, 2 hours ago, when I was having a nap, it was sunny, it was hot. And then I awoke to rain. So in an hour, it could be completely gone. It could be a beautiful, gorgeous sunset. Or maybe not. But sometimes you need to risk it and just pray for the best. It's too early to say, but it could be the best thing we've ever done. We're here. You want to make your way to the Google Map link in the description, and it's a resort, and you just walk into the resort. Normally, there's a little booth where you pay 200 baht, but there was a sign saying just pay at the bar. Similar to the pier we saw earlier, but much shorter. I think we're going to get some kind of sunset. What do you think? I mean, this is east, so the sunset's not going to happen over there. But you can see blue skies. There's the big storm. There's the sun. It's going to go down in that direction. The storm is going to 100% block the sunset. But that's all right. That's okay. Let's go say hello to the guys at the bar. Let's see if they charge us 200 baht. If they do, that's fine. I'd pay a lot more than that just to enjoy the views here. Oh my goodness, look. There's kind of something going on. The sun wants to, put a show on, but will it be able to or not? Not quite sure. It's so beautiful. I think it looks pretty after the rain. All the wood is dark. There's lots of puddles, lots of rain out there. Huge, huge rain cloud. Koh Chang is now getting the brunt of the storm we just had. Top tip, by the way, if you arrive at this pier before 5 p.m, you don't have to pay the 200 baht fee. And since I arrived 4:45, we got to enjoy the pier free of charge. Anyway, let me share this epic sunset we ended up having. Ain't got time for you. There's no softness in your smile. I fill the room with smoke. Turn the lights down low. My feet stand firm on the ground. You turn my world Yeah, as you can see, the gamble had paid off. Amazing scenes. Anyway, let's boogie.
I don't want you to go. Life is rust and stone without you.
That was worth coming out for, wasn't it? A couple of nice mocktails. A few other people have turned up. Made some friends. It's quite beautiful actually. Yes, definitely come to the pier bar. Even if it's pissing down rain, because you never know what's going to happen.
Rust and
Okay, it's the second half of the video where we're going to be leaving the beautiful, fantastic resort of Club Playa. I had a lovely, relaxing morning, to be honest. Breakfast, went for a nice walk in the park and the forest behind us, came back, had a swim, watched sunrise, had a big cup of coffee, and I've just been editing over there on my desk. Now, the next accommodation is much more affordable. I paid the equivalent of $27 per night. It was $4,200 per night to stay here, and it's only going to cost 880 baht to stay there. So let's wait for our taxi ride and head over there. We'll check in, we'll get settled, and I'll show you what 800 baht a night gets you on Koh Mak. A much more, reasonable budget, I think, to stay here, especially if you want to be here for a week or two or longer and really enjoy the frequency, laid back, chilled out frequency of Koh Mak. Okay, so welcome to our budget accommodation. Basically, I'll leave a link in the description. It's best that you book with them directly for the best rate. So it will be actually 1,400-ish in high season. So before I take you inside, just to give you a quick room tour, outside here is a big, luscious green space. And they have a nice little decking area with some chairs and ashtrays, and there's a little bar there. So I'm thinking that could be a really nice spot to watch the sunset, because we are in the west facing side of the island, and a couple of cans from the mini mart down the road would be a nice cheap way to just sit and relax and enjoy sunset. They also have complimentary kayaks and paddle boards to rent, and you can go out onto the sea. Not the best time of day for it, definitely a sunset or sunrise type of activity, but it is good that that's included. You can see there's a nice big double bed. It's quite a firm mattress, but it's fine. There's a good decent amount of pillows there. There's a little work desk here which has got a power plug, and you can definitely do your work and catch up on emails if that's the kind of thing. They have a fridge and a tea maker, and then through that little cabin there, that is your bathroom. There's a shower, there's a toilet, there's a sink, and it's separate to the tent. There's like a concrete structure that they've bolted to the back of it, and then there are zips everywhere, so you can make sure that the mosquitoes don't get in. In the afternoon you definitely want to make sure everything's closed up. Okie dokie, no rest for the wicked here. Not today. We've got some exploring to do. Yeah, for the last part of the video, I want to share all of the free things on Koh Mak worth checking out. The first is the Love Garden. It's a collection of erotic statues. Very funny, totally weird, but way too graphic to properly share on this vlog. You could spend hours in here taking hilarious photographs of you up against the statues doing crazy stuff. Yeah, that's all I can show you. Okay, the next free activity you can do, and you'll be spoilt for choice on Koh Mak, is find a nice beach and just relax in the shade and go for a swim. Do the usual. This particular beach I want to highlight because it has the most selection. There's a few restaurants, there's a few beach bars. Certainly a good place to get a coconut, a cold beer, a cocktail, and probably a nice place safe for kids. You can see behind me, there's a family there all swimming together, having the time of their life. It's high tide right now, and as you can see, it is stunningly beautiful, and you'll be spoiled for choice on Koh Mak. For sure, loads of nice beaches, but this particular one, it's tropical heaven, isn't it? And yes, 2 or 3 beach bars there. There's a few lads having a few cold beers, and it goes all the way down there. My rainy season video on Koh Mak features a hotel on this beach. So if you want to see what a nice hotel on this beach looks like, albeit in the rainy season, that's also linked below. You know what, I'm not going to drink beer, but I might go get a cold refreshment and just enjoy the views, because it's such a lovely afternoon and this beach is so inviting. And since we're doing everything today on a budget, I think we can afford a soda. I think at some point I referred to Koh Kham as not being the kind of place to find a beach club. Well, there's a new one. Cha Cha Beach Club, a little paradise for grown-ups. Kids over 14 are allowed. This is the good thing about coming back to places over and over again. In Thailand, things change. Things change quickly. Sometimes they change for the worse. Sometimes they change for the best. And a beach club on Koh Mak? I didn't think it was possible, but here we are. It's giving me Bali vibes, which is a bit of a red flag. Let's have a look. Oh, it's pretty. Oh, the ocean looks amazing. Wow, this place is really nice. What a great spot, eh? Look at this, guys. Look at that. Can you believe it? $140 baht.
Do you want a beer?
No, I'm off the beers, thanks.
Are you?
Yeah.
Jeez.
140 baht for a mocktail. Pina colada without the rum. Whew, this is quite the spot. And really nice staff. And they do food here. You could pitch up and look at the spot you've got here. And a couple of my subscribers from Scotland found it. And wow, what a spot, guys. I'm going to take you to one more final viewpoint before the sun goes down, and then we'll finish our adventures on Koh Mak. Wow. Okie dokie, I have no idea if this location is going to feature in the video, but on Google Maps there is a road. It goes all the way to the westernly-most point of the island, and apparently there's a beautiful little scenic sunset spot atop a cliff. Also, on a quick tangent, but useful information for travellers with kids, especially young children, maybe like a baby. I just met some subscribers from Norway, and they said the reason they love Koh Mak is because they don't have to worry about, getting around in taxis and getting, overpriced tuk-tuks, and it's too dangerous for them to get a motorcycle, carrying a baby. So, on Koh Mak, most resorts let you rent golf carts because the island is so flat, majority, and easy to navigate. And so a lot of the hotels offer you that security of a nice golf cart. So another plus for Koh Mak. Koh Mak's only mountain is basically here. So I've just been driving, and I was thinking, bloody hell, where am I going? The road just kept on going, and it's just finished here. There's the bike that I rented. And there seems to be, yes, there's a sign. Sunset viewpoint 100 meters through this. This will only make it to the video if it's actually quite nice. Mixed reviews online. It's really easy. Wow. And yes, welcome to Koh Mak's highest point. The western part of the island has a few little mountains, and there are some really hidden beaches, a few resorts and things. Oh, there's a really cool thing. So that island there behind me, don't know the name, it's just one of the little tiny, tiny fragments of rock, not really qualified as an island. Someone's kayaked over there, and there's a private little beach, and now it looks like they're about to leave. Oh, that looks beautiful. And that's what I love about Thailand. I've been to Koh Mak 3-4 times now. I've never been here, and there is still 90% of the island to explore, even though it's quite small. And something like that would be such an adventure. Speak to your hotel, get a boat out there, or rent some kayaks. And the bay behind me, there's just infinite adventures to be had, not just in Koh Mak, but anywhere. And that's the good thing about this job. I'll never be able to do Thailand justice. Although I will say one thing before we wrap up. If you're thinking about coming to Koh Mak for an extended time, let's say you're thinking about a week or two, you've liked the look of this video, you've liked the look of other videos on Koh Mak, that's fine. But my advice would be come and test it out, because it's a bit different. It's very quiet. Everything shuts at 9. And, there's a hippie vibe here, and it's a bit alternative. So I like it. I love it. I keep coming back, and I always will. But for some people, my mother included, it's just a bit too dull and a bit too boring and a bit too rustic. So come and give it a go. And if you love it as much as I do, then you can happily find your own adventure. I hope you've enjoyed experiencing Koh Mak through 2 different budgets, but that was mainly just, a video concept to have a hook or a title based around, because really, Koh Mak is the kind of place you just come to switch off, get away from everything. Thanks for watching as always. If you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe if you're new. Okay, see ya.